One of the biggest lies we tell, if it were a food, it would be a habanero pepper, burning our mouths because it's hot as hell. Two words side by side form a sentence we use to hide the truth about what's actually going on inside. I'm fine. And its fraternal twin, I'm okay. Saying anything else would lead someone to assume you're weak. Being weak is not something you're allowed to do. You have to be strong. Never let them see you sweat. Keep your head up. Suck it up. Man up. Remember your faith and pray. Keep it moving. And remember, everything is going to be okay. Experiencing the depth of your humanity is not readily acceptable by society. We have been conditioned to believe any emotion contrary to joy or happiness should never be displayed. So we work overtime, keeping how we really feel to ourselves just to make it through the day. But what do you think happens to those tough emotions we ignore? They don't evaporate and leave. They are buried alive and cleave to whatever spot within us they can find space. When we become overwhelmed, those emotions expose themselves with very little grace. Then you're left dealing with the situation you could have avoided if you would have just allowed yourself to experience the emotion when it showed up in the first place. But I get it. I know what you were told. I also know what you were showed. Drink until you're drunk and not thinking about it anymore. Get as high as a kite until you're flying. Just soar. Screw how often you need whoever at the time you decide to allow help you get the release of endorphins and oxytocin you're aiming for. Eat, and eat until your stomach is sore. Oh, how these ways provide a relief so sweet to adore. But when we come down, sometimes we feel worse than we felt before. When difficult emotions need to arise, we engage in external activities to disguise what's really going on inside, as if we don't have a shepherd to flock to. Haven't you heard? He's able to pull you through, but he can't fully do his job without you. The first thing you need to do is be true. Instead of covering what's true with words, phrases, and sentences strategically put together to hide the things you really need to mention. But I get it. I was once trapped in the darkness of my true emotions and vowed to never let them see the light of day. When they would show up anyway, my true emotions were something I was forced to downplay. My emotional pain was a piranha, devouring the flesh of my sanity, leading me to show up in the world in a way that negatively affected everyone around me. Honestly, I was more of a burden than a blessing. Sometimes I was fun to be around. Other times being in my presence was depressing. My emotions took on a life of their own and started expressing, hey, pay attention to us. We need addressing. So I finally listened and took myself where I really needed to be, in the office of an extremely amazing counselor to engage in talk therapy. Since beginning my therapeutic journey, every myth surrounding your true emotion should never be shown has been dispelled. The joy I now have, knowing I can completely be me, however I need to be, is unparalleled. My new way of living has not protected me from the expectation that my true emotions are something others should never see. Even in spaces I feel safe enough to be true, I still get responded to like, girl, get it together. What's wrong with you? I must admit, I'm so sick and tired of you questioning me about my authenticity because you're too scared to take a deep dive inside to balance your system, which will lead to you being able to thrive while you're still alive. I'm not ashamed to show my emotional side, but like a mic check, you got one too. And instead of working overtime trying to force me to cover mine, you need to work on exposing yours to you. I am proud to say I'm an emotional alien, letting my feelings occupy pages until they're out of space. Call me UFO, an unbothered female oasis, letting my tears rest in the midst of the dry places in my soul unapologetically. Instead of judging me, you need to imitate me because I'm doing what I need to do to be free. From the prison of other people's opinions, they often mention I need to be different when their fear of vulnerability peers in the mirror of my authenticity. Oh, I'm not ashamed to say I cry. There are times I feel angry, anxious, confused, depressed, embarrassed, hurt, invalidated, insecure, lonely, lost, miserable, nervous, overwhelmed, rejected, resentful, scared, unwanted, unimportant, worried, and zapped. And some people have a problem when I show that. Well, they will just continue to have a problem with me. I refuse to allow the lies "I'm fine" and "I'm okay" to block me from truly being free.
Yeah.